One of your main goals when creating documents here in Word 2016 is to create documents that are easy to read. To achieve optimum readability, you should use a consistent look and feel, and the easiest way to get that is through the use of themes and styles, and we're going to talk about that in this chapter, beginning with themes. You can see I've opened up a file already called LHGuide 0601A. If you've been following along, you can close up those other versions and open up this one, and you'll have exactly what I have. But before we get to this document, we're going to create a new document to really see how themes work. Let's go up to the File tab, click there, and choose New. Next, we're going to use a template, and under Featured, you're going to see a series of templates with names, which actually happen to be the names of many of our themes. For example, you can see Ion Design, Report Design. As you scroll through this, you might see one called Facet. There it is for me on my screen on the first row because I've used it recently. Let's choose that one, Facet Design, and click Create to create our new document. Now all we have are placeholders for a title, a heading, and some body text, and you can see the formatting that comes with this theme. The title is green, and it uses a certain font. That's all part of the theme. Headings, you can see, are a smaller sized font, same color with a line under it. And then we actually have body text, which looks totally different from the rest. In fact, it's black and much smaller. As you click in these areas, you can see the fonts that are being used. Click in heading, same font, different size. Click in the body text, again, same font, different size, different color. This is all part of a theme. What's nice though, when you start using these styles for titles, headings, body text, or normal text, when you go to change a theme, which we can do by clicking the Design tab and going to the Themes drop-down, when you hover over something other than what's selected, Facet, you're going to see in the background what that might look like. And you can see Ion, for example, uses a different set of colors and fonts. So hover over some of these other ones and you'll see they look totally different. Let's go to Droplet. Give it a click. Now that's the same content, but definitely looks different. You'll notice the other thing that happens when you select a theme, it comes with a number of style sets. So we're not stuck with the fonts and sizes and formatting that we see here. We can choose different sets. And as you hover over them, you can see what that looks like. For example, basic versus black and white versus some of the fancier ones like centered. And you can click this drop down to see all of the different style sets. Let's go with this one here, which uses some shading. Now, once we've selected a style set, we can even change the color scheme that's used. Click the drop down, and as you go to something like Violet 2, actually, I'm going to go with that one, give it a click, you can see how it changes up the colors. And if you don't like those fonts, choose a different font set. These all come with the theme. I'm going to go down to Franklin Gothic and click there. So as you can see, it's going to change up your entire document, and that's because our document is using styles, like a title style, for example, or a heading style. Let's go back to the Home tab for a second because you'll notice in the Styles group, we have something called Quick Styles. And when my cursor's flashing in the title, you can see it's using the Title Quick Style. When I click anywhere in the heading, you can see up here it's using Heading 1. If I'd rather see what that looks like using Heading 2, I just hover over it. Maybe that should be a Heading 2. I give it a click. Click the drop down, you'll see all of the quick styles that come with this theme. So let's close this up by clicking File and choosing Close. We don't need to save it. Click Don't Save, and we're back to our Landon Hotel Guide 0601A. And if we were to change the theme on this, let's see what happens. Click Design. Go to Themes. And just hover over things like Facet. Well, we're not seeing the green color we thought we might see. As we go down to Droplet, you can see everything looks pretty similar. We do see some minor changes in some of the fonts that are being used, but because this document was formatted manually, using a theme or selecting a theme is going to have little effect on it. So another option is to get your text in first and then start applying themes using those quick styles. So I'm going to open up a different document, LHGuide 0601B. It's the same content, but as you can see, it has no formatting whatsoever. So if we go up to Best of Landon Hotel and click in the left margin to select it and go to our styles using the default theme here and hovering over title, you can see what happens. Give it a click. Let's go to in this month's issue. Click in the left-hand margin. Click the drop down to see all the choices. I think emphasis might be a good one. Or maybe strong. I like strong. Give it a click. Let's go to West End London now. Click there. And let's go back to our drop down so we can choose one of the headings. Heading 2, Heading 1. I like Heading 1. Do the same for Latin Quarter. Heading 1. And Bernal Heights, San Francisco. Heading 1. Now that we've applied some quick styles, let's see what happens when we go up to the Design tab and choose a different theme. Let's go to Facet. Now you can see some color changes and font changes, and that's because we're making use of the quick styles that come with a theme. So if we wanted to, we could scroll down to an appropriate one that looks as close as we want to what we're trying to achieve and make the selection. I'm going to go with Depth. Because I've chosen a different theme, I get different style sets. So if I find something I like better, I can give it a click, like Centered. Scroll up to see what that looks like. Want to change the colors? We can do that now, and it will actually affect our document. I'm going to go to Violet 2. And if you don't like those fonts, change up the font set. I'm going to go to the Calibri options here. There we go. So as you can see, what we've selected already and applied styles to is changing. Down below, we have some more content that needs to be formatted using headings and so on. So I'm going to leave that up to you. Go in through the document. If you see extra space, you can probably take out those extra spaces using your delete key. I'm going to hit my delete key until I get my content back up here on page 2. There we go. That's where it belongs. So sometimes different sets are going to use different spacing, and it can throw off your document. But by having the content in here without any formatting and then applying our quick styles, we know we can now change themes, colors, fonts, and it's going to create that consistent look and feel throughout our document that we need. Going through the rest of the document, setting up headings, for example, See and Be Seen in the West End. Let's go to our Home tab and choose Heading 1 for that. You can see what it does. We could go down to the Landon that started it all and do the same thing. And then we might see some that would use a different heading, like Facilities, for example. That might be a Heading 2. Or maybe a subtitle. Click the drop down to see all of your options. I'm going to go with Subtitle. Same thing for Amenities, Subtitle. You get the idea. So finish up the document, creating that consistent look and feel with quick styles, and we'll continue from there.